Last week, the BU women's basketball team got their second win of the season against Ryder, and today the Bearcats were looking for 2 in a row against Bucknell. For the second straight year, we have a big storyline to follow here at Watkins Glen. Last year, Tony Stewart had his accident at Canandaigua. We start with the undefeated Spartans looking for number 48 and their 5th section title. It's sort of like football with an offensive line and a running back. The running back is named a jammer. 19 minutes till the puck drops. The Zambonis are out. They're cleaning the ice for the 127th meeting between the NMU Wildcats and the Michigan Tech Huskies. NMU owns this series. Last weekend, the B-Sens took 2 out of 3 from their weekend series. This week, Sens only have 2 games, but every game seems to be important for Binghamton. The Rams return home for senior night against Duquesne, where the Roseville Gym's been home cooking for the Rams, winning 3 A-10 games for the first time since 2007. The B-Mets have been having a great month of July. They've been like the Rolling Stones lately, producing hit after hit. Throughout the Mace Madness tournament and in the game of basketball, I bet you guys see a lot of this shot. It's called the bank shot, and these players aren't using their scholarship money to be put in the bank. This is the new beginning of a new season, a time to grow as a team. Going into the high school basketball season, I knew a little bit from each team watching them from football or soccer in the fall. The Susquehanna Valley girls were talented on the pitch, and I thought they'd be pretty good on the hardwood this season. And the motto for the Sabres this season was #banners. They beat Norwich in the Section 4 final. Check that off the list. But SV still had to beat Hoosick Falls to complete their checklist. Sabre Nation traveled well today after a great showing yesterday with Dave Matthews leading the student section as always. And Hoosick Falls fell asleep early. They didn't pay attention to their naps. In the first, Courtney nails a 3-ball to give the Sabres a 5-0 lead. And then the sisters team up for a little defense that leads to offense. Courtney the pickpocket and then feeds Caitlin for the and one. SV led 9-0 just 3.5 into the quarter. But the Panthers start roaring back late first. Time winding down, Chelsea Stevens lines up a 3-ball that swishes and beats the buzzer. SV still led 13-8 after one. Even her neighbor was showing some love in the stands. In the second quarter, more Sabres from beyond the arc. Caitlin taps it to Shayna Lee for 3, the rim rattler. SV led 17-10. More good on offense for the Sabres in this one. On the inbounds play, Jordan Williams finds my girl Paige Finch for the jumper. SV led at the break 31-23. To the second half, and more from Finchy. She changed her name on Twitter on purpose because Paige brought the rage. She was in beast mode with that layup, and her mom was loving every single minute of it, with them up 40-33 in the third. To the fourth, and Hoosick Falls trying to change the momentum. Stevens get another chance on the perimeter. She had a splash party to bring the Panthers back. They were only down 4 with 3 minutes left as the crowd got into it. But we got spirit, yes we do. We've got spirit, how about you? And the SV seals the deal. Hannah Haskell hits a big free throw at one end, and on the defensive end, the Sabres stop Rachel Pine on the final play, and that's all she wrote. SV takes home their first ever state title with a 51-45 victory.
Amazing.
Awesome feeling.
Yeah, you were, Chad. Shayna Lee was named to the all-tournament team, and Erin Nolan was named MVP of the tournament, as these girls will definitely be celebrating for weeks to come. Now to another title, this one on the ice between Vestal and ME. First period, Spartans pick it up in the defensive zone, and Jeremy Wilbur was being Jeremy Wilbur, folks. The deke and the 1-0 lead. To the second, Vestal ties things up because everyone's favorite Golden Bear, Nick Barney, to Jordan Lindemann for the thin mint on the top shelf of the cookie jar. Still in the second, and Spartans call on the big gun. Ryan Riefler rifles the hot biscuit glove side, and just like that, ME has a 2-1 advantage. In the third, Vestal decides to go on the penalty kick and go empty net. Colin Wenzel fights for the backhand and the score to make it 3-1. ME, and then still with the empty net, Wilbur will launch it coast to coast. This would be a top play nominee. Spartans win their first title 4-1 after losing to Vestal just a year ago.
Feels very good to be out with the victory.
Spartans in good position to do it again next year, only graduating 2 seniors from this year's team. Let's go to that scoreboard. B-Sens win 4-3. 4 different B-Sens score in a comeback victory, with McCormick and Prince scoring in the third. The B-Sens are back on a 3-game winning streak and have earned points in 8 of the last 10 games as they play tomorrow afternoon against Bridgeport. Let's end the show by going outside in the cold for BU lacrosse against number 16 Towson. First quarter, Bearcats score after being down 3-0. Zach skedaddles through the D for the marker. He had 2 goals in the game, but Towson showed off their wicked wristers. Ryan Drenner with the turnaround goal. He had a hat trick in the game as they went up 5-2. The Bearcats add more in the second, though. Emmett O'Hara would get the bouncer for the marker and the goal. He also had 2 goals for BU, but they fall to Towson 9-8. That's it for sports. We'll be right back right after Evening Live numbers. The Cheez-It 355 is going to be fast. And as a fan, you'll want to be updated with the fastest information using a FanVision.
FanVision is basically taking the capabilities of a traditional scanner and adding in not only video component to it, but then leaderboard like data components too. So you've got the best of both worlds.
The product came out in 2012, and NASCAR fans love watching and listening to their favorite riders.
Jeff Gordon's my favorite driver, and I'll listen right to his radio himself.
I see every inch of the race, not just the one corner that I'm sitting on. And again, I get to listen to my 3 favorite drivers, not that there's anybody better than Tony Stewart.
And no matter where you're sitting, whether it's at the top or at the bottom of the stands, FanVision takes you everywhere, which is different than an iPhone or an app.
It is different. When you take a look at all the screens all simultaneous at one time, you're looking at a main video screen, you're looking at timing and scoring, you can look at data, you can listen to individual driver audio. All of that combined together is the bandwidth that we bring to the track. Now that bandwidth is proprietary to our product and the usage at the track, so there's no delay on there.
And here's where the magic is made. This production truck supplies all the video and content for the device, which is a must-need for a track that turns and curves like Watkins Glen.
You have to have this somewhere like a road course where you can't necessarily see all parts of the track. This is ideal. This is almost like a must-have for coming to a race like this. And even at the big ovals, Talladega, Daytona, these are a must-have as far as the race experience sitting in the grandstands.
Even though our younger generation is tech-savvy, the parents don't want to get FanVision out of their hands.
Yeah, normally Dad's hogging it, but yeah, they get to use it too.
Reporting from Watkins Glen Speedway, Donnie Dwyer, Fox 40 HD Sports.